Hey everybody, welcome to the Gene Pool Variety Hour. This is episode 96. I am one of your co-hosts. I'm Sean. I'm the old guy of the group, and the other guy is.
Bonjour, mes amis. I am your other co-host, Connell, also known as the Quillmaster or the Candyman.
So, obviously, he's doing the French thing because we've got a French shark movie we're watching tonight. We watched.
Oui.
So, anyway, that's my kid on the other side. And for those
Yes,
who have never joined in or have never listened before, we're just a dad and a son who are big nerds and like to talk a bunch of nerdy stuff. And this is how we get to do it. So
we are a father-son nerdy ADHD duo. We don't even know half of what we're going to talk about when we go into these things.
That's why
we have a loose skeleton, but every time we surprise ourselves.
That's why our mascot is the chicken, because we chase a lot of chickens. Right?
Exactly, yeah. Chase the chicken.
Yeah. So anyway, so we will talk about a random movie that we watched. I mean, we typically will roll dice and pick a movie at random off of one of the streaming services.
That's right.
And so that's what we got tonight. We got a French shark movie that we're going to watch, or talk about.
I loved it, honestly.
And spoiler alert, I didn't. Can I speak? And then we talk about.
I don't know. Can you?
May I? No, it is can. Can I speak English? Can I speak well? Because obviously I couldn't a while ago when I tried to say spoiler alert. But and then we just go down whatever rabbit hole.
Duckster, my dude.
What's up, Duck? So we just go down whatever.
Duck. Duckster's in the house.
We go down in whatever rabbit hole Connor takes us down. So he's got a question ready for us for that too. So
we're late. We're very, very late.
So that's where we're at. So, any kind of interesting stuff, nerdy stuff going on for you lately?
I have been in a deep gaming binge of Borderlands, the pre-sequel.
Okay, all right. Well, all getting geared up for Borderlands. I'm playing a lot of Borderlands 3. Yep. So,
I always loved Borderlands, the pre-sequel, but there was always so for one thing, I'm a campaign completionist. I don't try to get all of the achievements or all the collectibles or anything, but I try to complete the story every time before I go into true Vault Hunter mode and basically restart.
Yeah.
There was always one part that I could never get past that always made my eye twitch. So Borderlands the pre-sequel, for those of you who don't know, it is kind of the lesser known of the Borderlands franchise. It essentially takes place between the games of Borderlands and Borderlands 2, and basically you work with Handsome Jack to retake the Hyperion station before some rogue doll soldiers use it to blow up the Pandoran moon Elpis. So you get to work with Jack and kind of see his slow descent from kind of cocky coding engineer, low down on the pole, to full on megalomaniac psychotic murderer, or he is in Borderlands 2.
All right, cool. Right, I know. And also, you said that they're trying to keep Elpis from being destroyed, the moon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they're trying to keep Elpis from being destroyed.
It's kind of interesting because then that ends up happening in Borderlands 3.
Because we find out in Borderlands 3 that Elpis is essentially a giant vault key for the Great Vault on Pandora.
No, yes, I know. And then, of course, that sets up Borderlands 4.
Exactly, because the debris of Elpis crashes on Kairos. Yes, and I have followed all of the same stuff you have.
You gotta love it when a plan comes together, right? So
anyway, back to what I was talking about before. So because the pre-sequel never got a lot of the love that 2 got, it only got one thing of DLC story.
Yeah.
And basically, you got to go inside Claptrap, which, I mean, who wouldn't want to figure out what goes on in that crazy bucket of bolts head? I mean, come on.
Violating Claptrap is not on my bingo card of something that interests me. Sorry.
Anyway, the final boss of that DLC, it's a 3-stage boss. You first you first go up against Shadow Trap, which is essentially Claptrap's original programming to be an awesome vault hunter, but it got hidden in his code. So you beat Shadow Trap. Shadow Trap then essentially uses a bunch of extra code to make himself stronger, and he turns into the Helios station, and you have to fight the Helios station, and then from the Helios station it evolves into a giant mech that you have to then beat too. So it's a 3-stage boss, and each one is as wild as the next because it's because the boss basically has reign over the entire map. So you're hopping and basically pecking and shooting for like an hour just to get through one phase. It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, like, I thought that I had it, but I never bought
fighting
it.
a raid boss.
Yeah.
It's basically fighting a raid boss.
Right. And, it turns out I don't have pre-sequel. I guess I played your copy when you bought it a long time ago, a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but they've got, that Xbox has this big sale going on, and so you can get Borderlands 1, which I don't have a digital copy of, and I don't have the disc anymore, and I can't find my Borderlands 2 disc either. So, but they've got a package of Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, and the Borderlands the pre-sequel for like $10.
So please do.
So I'll probably buy it. I'll probably buy it tonight and check it out.
I'm telling you, the pre-sequel is actually really fun. It's it incorporates some of the cool stuff that we got in 3.
Yeah.
But it still has that classic Borderlands 2 aesthetic that you love.
Right. Okay. Well, cool. So what else has been going on? Anything else going
on? Let's see. Oh, we have officially finished up the school year for my Head Start. Woo!
Yay! Well, seeing as how it's July, almost August, I would hope so.
We at like the tail end of May, we started our summer camp. And the summer camp basically went on until this past Wednesday, which was official graduation for all our Head Start kids.
Okay, got you.
And so now we're taking all of next week and then basically the entire month of August to do professional development, deep cleaning of the facility, and getting to essentially redo our rooms how we want for the next school year. I have a lot of ideas.
Good. I'm sure
very excited.
I'm sure you do. So, on my end, go ahead. I thought you were done.
I even got a special shout out from my center manager because of how I stepped up during summer camp. A lot of the teachers didn't have a lot of knowledge of some of our themed weeks, so like bugs, recycling, oceans, and stuff like that. But I was a treasure trove of information, and I got to just essentially take the reins of all kinds of stuff with the kids, and I got singled out for some praise because of how I was able to add things around.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
I really feel appreciated there,
And that makes any job worth it if you can.
Exactly, Mitch. Whole team, come on, whole world, come on, Team Connor. Oh, speaking of Head Start, I made this tie-dye shirt with my kids just last week.
Oh, cool! Look at you. So yeah, you're as creative as you are. I mean, I think that's a great setting for you to be in. So I think that's awesome, dude. As far as things on my end, I've been playing a lot of Borderlands 3, just kind of because I'm sucked into it, because I'm getting geared up for Borderlands 4. I'll probably do some of the pre-sequel here soon. But other things, I mean, nothing much is going on. Now, you might notice that my glasses look a little different tonight.
Yeah.
So here's the story.
My glasses look a lot different.
So I have my normal glasses that I normally wear, my new glasses that I wear typically. Okay, they're because I'm old. They're trifocals. Okay, and so the mid range. So I noticed because I'm in that community.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Trifocals?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
So So not even Benjamin Franklin could have predicted how crappy your eyes are.
So you have the distance lens. You have to see far away. Then on the bottom is like the bifocal part for reading, right? But then the middle one is for seeing things at mid distance, and that's perfect for like seeing computers or anything like that. And what I noticed, because I play trumpet in that community band now. And what I've noticed is that it's virtually impossible to see the music because it's at that mid-range level, and I've got two little slits in my glasses like this. So I'm constantly doing like this, trying to see the music when we're playing. So I ordered me some glasses that are just one power, that are my mid-range power, and I finally got them in. And so they work great for reading music. And then tonight, when I was getting everything set up, I was looking at the camera, and I'm like, I really look like an idiot doing like this, trying to see everything. So I said, oh, I have a solution for that. And I ran downstairs and got my old man middle range music reading glasses, and I can see everything now. So they look a little bit different than my other glasses, but
man, thank you, Doc. Here I was.
Anyway, so other than that, I don't have a lot going on. I got a trip coming up. Not this coming Monday, but the following Monday, I'm driving up to Canton, Ohio, because I'm going to go catch a drum and bugle corps show.
Nice.
Just going to do the band geek thing and do that. I couldn't get any friends to go, so I'm just driving up there by myself, watching the show and driving back. Probably sleeping for an hour or something in a rest stop or something on the way home. But anyway, so other than that, not much is going on. I do think it's a good time to have an in memoriam section in our podcast after this week. Dude, Gen X got hit hard this week.
You'll have to elaborate.
First was Ozzy Osbourne. He died this week.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, see,
I mean,
you don't even know
was
these things.
coming though. No,
yeah,
I know who Ozzy Osbourne is.
Okay. Oh, I know you know who he is. You just didn't know he died, right? So first, Ozzy Osbourne died.
Because I don't go looking around for okay, who died this time?
So
how'd they die?
So first of all,
death, I focus on life, man.
He died.
Life and living.
How about you let me finish now?
Okay.
Thank you. So first thing that happened this week, we got hit with Ozzy Osbourne dying, like 2 weeks or something after his last concert, right?
Wow.
Which kind of reminded me of Stevie Ray Vaughan when that happened with him. And then back years ago when Stevie Ray Vaughan died.
I didn't know Stevie Ray Vaughan died.
Dude, Stevie Ray Vaughan has been dead since I was in college. Dude, come on. Anyway,
I thought we had DVDs of recent concerts of his when I'm back in Georgia.
No, we had DVDs and we had CDs of all of his music, but nothing current because he was dead. That would have been kind of a quiet one. You'd just been looking at his grave.
I loved his song "Voodoo Child."
Yeah, well, that's not. It was Jimi Hendrix's song, and Stevie redid it.
Oh,
so yeah, right.
Look, I am sorry. Okay.
So we're having fun.
Again, I don't go around looking for death.
For those that are just listening to the podcast version of this, we're having fun with the chat here on the stream. Then after that, Malcolm Jamal Warner died, and I know you probably don't know, but he played Theo. He played Bill Cosby's son, Theo, in the Bill Cosby Show. So all us Gen Xers grew up with that show. Okay.
I barely know who Bill Cosby is.
I know
the
that
whole stuff.
Like I said, this hit Gen X hard. I'm not saying it hit whatever your generation is hard. You don't know about any of these things.
That's the only thing of Bill Cosby I know.
All right. Third one that happened, Hulk Hogan died.
Oh no, that one had to
hurt.
hurt.
So that one hit, and then the one that hit me hardest, being a band geek, Chuck Mangione died just yesterday.
Now, who is that?
Chuck Mangione is a flugelhorn player, which is a type of trumpet. It's a type of trumpet.
No, when you hear the name flugelhorn,
the flugelhorn, I know.
It sounds like something from a Dr. Seuss book.
I mean, he topped the charts back in the '80s with his stuff. One of his songs was like
the name does sound familiar.
Was like the theme song for the 1980 Winter Olympics. He's just a really popular, and for trumpet players, growing up in the '80s, I mean, he was just one of our idols.
That sounds familiar.
And so he died. So we got hit like super hard. So,
I think it's the name Mangione that sounds familiar. Hey Dad, what's the name of that really buff hot guy for Magic Mike that happens to be like a big D&D player?
Joe Manganiello.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, the name sounds very sounds very similar.
I get that. But so I mean, and here's the thing: being band nerd. Okay. I have on my Pandora. I have one of my Pandora playlists is nothing but like trumpet music and trumpet players. So, I was listening to it driving home yesterday and was listening to Chuck Mangione in the car, came inside, looked on my phone and saw that he died. So, so it's not I was like, oh, somebody I listened to a long time ago died. No, I was just listening to him yesterday right before I heard he died. So, so it was big. I mean, it hit everything. It hit your acting, your sitcoms. It hit your sports entertainment. It hit music on both ends, like your rock, popular music, and your like jazz instrumental stuff. Kind of hit everything in our generation yesterday.
How did Ozzy die? Do we know?
I don't know exactly what he died of. I've heard some rumors. He was in really bad medical shape, and I don't remember. I can't remember if he had Parkinson's or he had something, and he was really going downhill. I don't know exactly what he died of. I heard that he and his wife had talked about that they had. Yeah, I thought he'd had Parkinson's for a long time. I saw a report the other day that there was an earlier report last year or something like that where he and Sharon had a suicide pact. I don't know if that's true or not. So I don't know. I don't think we've heard what the cause of death was yet for him. So.
Do you think it's got anything to do with the with several fatheads he bit off on stage in his prime?
No, I do not, Connor.
I'm just saying, you don't know what kind of diseases are in bats.
And I don't even know to what extent that is true versus an urban myth. Mitch might know in the chat, but I don't know. So, anyway. So that was it was like 4 days in a row, man. It was like Ozzy. The next day was Malcolm Jamal Warner. The next day was Hulk Hogan. The next day was Chuck. So, anyway, and Chuck, because I like the drum and bugle corps stuff, DCI stuff, and I listen to that, and I like to go to those shows whenever I can. Back in the 80s, the DCI corps, they played a lot of Chuck Mangione, so that was another thing. So,
oh wow, $200 million for Parkinson's research. That is awesome.
That is fantastic. I did not know that.
And is the most profitable charity concert of all time. So hold on.
Yeah.
Are you saying it beat out the iconic AIDS concert with Queen?
Yep. Well, because also probably more money. There's more money now because just the economy goes up. People have more money. This kind of thing. I don't know.
Oh man.
Right. So. Yeah, but that's kind of cool. I did not know that. That's an awesome piece of news. So let me read that because Connor just kind of half read it. Friend of ours in the chat said the show that Ozzy did a couple of weeks ago. That was his last show ever. Raised almost $200 million for Parkinson's research and is the most profitable charitable concert of all time. That's pretty stinking amazing. So,
yeah,
good for him. Rest in peace, all of them. So
yeah.
Definitely. And, I don't know what happened. So I don't know the causes of death of any of them yet, except for Malcolm Jamal Warner. He died. I mean, he drowned. He drowned on a family vacation in Costa Rica, which really kind of sucks. So, anyway.
So quick question.
Yeah.
Is Hulk Hogan related to Paul Hogan, who played that Crocodile Dundee guy?
Oh, buddy, just because somebody has the last name doesn't mean that they're... that they're the same family. I kind of figured it would probably be cardiac arrest for Hulk. I mean, you take steroids as long as he did back in the day, it's got to do damage on that heart. So, but he was 71. Malcolm Jamal Warner was probably in his 40s or maybe early 50s. I don't know if he was our age or not. Maybe in his 40s.
Our age. He my age.
I'm talking about me. Well, Mitch is 10 years younger than me too, so or more than that. But and then Ozzy. I mean, Ozzy was 70 something, I think, and Chuck Mangione was 84, so he was getting up there. So right. So you're reading the chat, Connor. His name wasn't even Hogan. So
I didn't know. I mean,
was he? Man, was Malcolm Jamal Warner in his mid-50s? Wow. I guess he and I really did grow up together. So anyway, what else is going
on? A bit of bad news actually. I am dealing with a bad bug infestation in my apartment.
Oh, that's not good.
Nothing too serious, just like gnats and flies, but they're everywhere. I even reached out to Mom to get that apple cider vinegar trap that she used to do. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
That didn't do anything. It caught some of them, but didn't. They're still everywhere.
Yeah, I've got an idea for you. We'll talk about it offline afterwards.
All right.
So anyway, but yeah, that's. No, I know you're not 50, Mitch. I'm mid-50s, so.
What? You didn't say anything.
No, because I've got it over here. It got moderated. The auto mod moderated. So, how do I? I'm trying to unmute that. What? I don't want that. Anyway.
You don't want me? What did I do?
No, it's some window popped up and I can't move it now. There we go.
Riveting radio, isn't everybody?
Yeah, I know, right? I can't get that. I can't get. There is allow. There's that button. Okay, got it. So anyway, what do we want to do? The question now, or do we want to do the movie now? What do we want to do?
I don't know. I'm just having fun vibing.
Well, I mean, I've kind of run out of little side nerd stuff to talk about. I don't have anything else to talk about. Otherwise, we'll just have dead airspace. So, you got something else you want to talk about? I'll follow you.
And we've already talked enough about death.
Okay, so let's do something else. All right, so it's time for the geek question. All right?
Yes, it is. Hit it, Arnold.
I'll ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Beautiful.
All right, so what's the question, Connor?
So, what is a classic video game from your childhood you would love to see have a full top to bottom modern day console remake, and what would be the modern day twist you would put on that game?
Okay. I've got an idea for a couple of things. You go ahead and tell me what yours is.
All right.
You had the question. You don't even answer your own question?
No, because a lot of my games have already gotten reboots.
Oh yeah, you don't have games from your childhood that need to be remade because they're like, I don't know, yesterday's games.
Okay, so there is one that I would love to have a remake.
All right, go for it.
I don't remember its title. It was on like I think the original PlayStation. You got it from me one time. It's essentially where you travel through time and catch monkeys that escaped from a lab from a time travel
my
lab.
gosh, what was that called again?
I have no idea.
It wasn't Super Monkey Ball. That was that other thing. What was that thing? What was that?
That was
game
on
called?
GameCube.
Yeah, I know.
That was Nintendo.
What was that stinking game called? But I remember it, going through time and catching the monkeys. I remember that.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the name of it. So maybe somebody in the chat will remember it, but I can't remember what it was.
It was in a way almost like an open world kind of platformer kind of thing. It wasn't it wasn't anything like Rayman where you had to jump around. No, you had all these gadgets and you could go across the map trying to trap these monkeys,
right,
and such, and get them sent back to the lab.
Right.
So I would love to have some kind of like modern day remake of that with better graphics, instead of like a giant.
Yeah. I think it was Monkey Escape, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it was Monkey something, but I couldn't remember the name of it.
instead of having basically a giant butterfly net, because that's what essentially you had, you could have like a net gun with all
Ape
kinds of
Escape.
attachments.
That's it. Ape Escape.
Yes.
Thank you, son.
Oh,
Appreciate that.
man, that was my childhood. I remember playing that game so much. Oh man.
All right. So I I can probably think of a few, but go if you got more, go ahead. I've got one right off the top of my head, but
if I had all my druthers, I would want to have Mass Effect 1 essentially remade to mirror the other two games, you know?
And what do you mean mirror the other two games? In what way?
So in the other two games, you didn't have to do any kind of loot or gear tracking. You just essentially had your gear. You could upgrade it and then swap it out between missions and such.
Right.
And you didn't have to worry about having any kind of penalties from other weapons, because you just couldn't use those weapons.
Right.
Unless you had a skill that designated for it.
Right.
And then also skill allocation was also a lot more streamlined and such.
Okay.
Plus I just feel like the customization and options and the way the games ran in 2 and 3 and even Andromeda were just a lot smoother than they were in 1.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, you can say that about all these franchises. Imagine all the differences that there were between Assassin's Creed and then Assassin's Creed 2. And then all the differences between Borderlands and Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the difference between Borderlands and Borderlands 2 was Borderlands 2 actually had vault hunters that were good and fun to play.
But also the gameplay was a lot easier.
Yeah.
Or the enemies weren't so stacked against you. I remember trying 1 and I remember dying like 10 times before I even got to like level 3, because the enemies were just somehow so beefy and so hard hitting, you know? It's insane. I remember dying like 10 times before I even unlocked my action skill. And it just got ridiculous in 1. So I played it just to get through it one time, and then just so I could say, okay, I beat Borderlands 1, so now let's focus on the rest of the games.
Yeah.
I do the same thing with Mass Effect.
Right.
I 100% Mass Effect 1, so that then that character and that save can get all that data into into Mass Effects 2 and 3, and then I can just replay 2 and 3 with that save data, because I love the mechanics of 2 and 3 so much more than 1.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like talking about, kind of the Mass Effect and Borderlands series and stuff, I loved the original Borderlands, but I loved the original Borderlands because it was such a new type of game, right? The graphics were interesting looking, the humor was was hilarious, and it was really kind of the first of those looter shooter kind of things, Other games have kind of taken that over a lot now, Diablo to a certain extent, Destiny to a large extent kind of thing, so they've kind of taken the crown a little bit. A lot of people are saying that have played the Borderlands 4 are saying that it's going to kind of come back with some gusto. It's getting some pretty good feedback right now. But no, so as far as games for me, one that I can think of, the first one that came to my mind, there isn't really a game from my childhood, but it is from back in the day. I mean, it's from the 90s, so we're looking
30 years ago?
Yeah, we're talking, my late 20s and everything. It was off the Atari Lynx, which was, that handheld that I really liked.
Oh yeah, I remember you letting me and Luke play those.
Yeah. So, and the game one of the games that I loved the most was Todd's Adventures in Slime World. So, anyway,
Warlock.
Yeah, I'll respond to that. I'll respond to that in a minute. But is this game called Todd's Adventures in Slime World, and it's a 2D game, and you're going through these slimy catacombs. You're stranded on a planet, and you're trying to get through these catacombs to find an escape out the other side, so you can get to an escape ship or whatever to get away. And it's just this underground maze that you have to go through, but it's 2D, and you have to go through. And if you get slime on you, there are places where there's water you can wash off. You have to get these power ups and everything. It was just a fun game. I just really like playing it, and I would love to see something like that done in first person. With updated graphics would be kind of cool to see it, so you're actually kind of seeing everything, or like VR, if they did a VR kind of thing, right? That would be cool. Another one that really does go back to childhood, from the old Atari 2600 days, was a game called River Raid. It was made by Activision on the 2600. And it was a top-down shooter where you had a plane and you were just moving forward. I mean, you were kind of moving up the screen, but it's like you were moving forward down, supposedly down through a river, in between two banks of a river. You're flying over this river, and you had to shoot the enemies coming at you, but you were constantly running out of fuel, so you had to run over, fuel pods to keep your fuel going. And every now and then the river would get narrow. It would narrow, or there'd be an island in the middle, and you had to go around it. If you hit the land, you died. If they did something like that in like first person, where it's a flying game, but you're constantly flying through a canyon or flying through a,
it sounded like this plane was a seaplane.
Well, it wasn't a sea. It was flying over the water.
Well,
it was just,
well, yeah. I mean, like a pontoon plane. Those planes that can land on the water.
Sure, I understand what you're saying, but I mean, they didn't. It was just a plane that flew over the water. You have to understand. Very, very simple graphics. This is Atari 2600, So, but if they could do something like that in like first person, where you're stuck flying in the canyon, you can't fly up above the riverbank or whatever, or if you're going through like Grand Canyon, think of, and of course you probably haven't seen it, but the Top Gun movie, the new Top Gun movie, where they had to fly through these canyons.
With Liam Neeson.
Top Gun, not Top Secret, not Top, not or whatever it's called. No, Top Secret is the one.
Naked Gun.
Tom. Yeah,
Naked Gun.
Top Gun. Tom Cruise.
Oh, sorry. I don't like Tom Cruise. I do not like him as an actor. I don't want anything with him in it.
Right. So
the only variation of Tom Cruise I like is a Family Guy's version, which is known as Tiny Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Which is basically the same size as Stewie, and he's just extra all the time.
Right.
And it's hilarious.
So anyway, so that would be kind of cool, because it's almost like that scene. You can look it up on YouTube. There's a scene where he's flying through. It's like a test run, and he's flying. You have to fly through this canyon really low to stay inside the canyon, to stay below like the anti-aircraft guns. Yeah. And he's pulling these constant G's going back and forth. So doing a game kind of like that, but doing it first person would be kind of cool. Why are you blowing in your microphone?
I wasn't. I was subtly singing because I had a sudden impulse control issue that I just wanted to.
Okay. Okay, there you go, folks.
I don't know why.
So,
anyway,
so those are two that would really be cool to see. Now, River Raid by Activision back in the day was one of the best games on the Atari 2600. I mean, it's regarded as one of the better games on the 2600. But they're not going to remake that thing because it was from 50 years ago, right? And they're not going to make Todd's Adventures in Slime World because it wasn't popular, because it was on a failed handheld machine, which was ahead of its time, but it came out at the same time that the Game Boy did. Well, that was a mistake, right?
Question.
Yeah.
How many times have they redone Crash Bandicoot? How many times have they redone Mario?
I know.
Or Pac-Man?
Yeah, but do you read the chat? You read the chat over here? You have lost your cred, buddy. You have lost your cred.
Look, I've seen a lot of stuff for Naked Gun recently, and I've seen nothing for Top Gun. So I thought he made another Freudian slip like he's known to do.
Oh man. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny that happened. But I'm trying to think if there's any other games that I can think of that would really be cool. Man, and I'm not thinking well because I'm only thinking like, oh, just turn everything to first person. You know, another one that I would really like to see redone.
Oh, I've got another answer.
Okay, go. Because I've got one more too.
I remember you showed me a game a long time ago, back in Bismarck. I think it was called Monster Rancher.
Yeah.
You were able to put like CDs and DVDs in with this program, and it basically rips the code and scans the code and created a monster or a creature based on that code.
Yep.
I would love to see if they could do some kind of modern day variation of that. You know,
yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
I mean, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You could it could combine basically Pokemon style capturing with like Harvest Moon styled farming and sim games.
Mm-hmm.
That could be so cool.
Yeah. Yep. Frank Maverick, Police Squad. He's combining them. So just so you know, just in case you didn't know what's going on, that's what's going on over there. Okay, so the other one that I would love to see a remake of is Alien versus Predator, the original off of the Atari Jaguar.
You've talked about that one.
You know, and I mean, look, they've done like Alien Isolation is a really good Alien movie. I mean, Alien game on the Xbox. It's really good, but it's not Alien versus Predator. The cool thing about that one was you were on this abandoned space station, right? There was no music going on. It was just the ambient sounds of an abandoned space station. So it's kind of creepy because you know, until you heard the shriek of the alien right behind you, right? But you could play it. It was really three different games. You know,
you could play as the Predator, as the alien, or the Space Marine.
Right. And the game was different depending on who you played. Well, the goal was different. You're still playing in the same setting, right? The alien was trying to kill everybody. The Predator was trying to kill everybody and get the trophies. And the Space Marine, the Marine was just trying to get to the escape pod and escape, right? So you know, you're going on this thing and all you hear is this ambient sound, right? Until they got right behind you, and then you'd hear this sound behind you, right? So redo it, because that game was done and it was pretty cool graphically for its day, but the characters were basically sprites that they just made bigger or smaller, so it was really blocky, you know. I would love to see it with updated graphics like Unreal Engine 5. It would just be really cool. That would be one that I'd love to see redone.
I mean, Dad, the Atari Jaguar was like, wasn't that the game? Wasn't that the console that you skillfully unwrapped, played, then rewrapped when you were a kid?
No, that was the 2600.
Okay.
Sorry, Mitch. Sorry about all the internet troubles. So, go enjoy your night, and I'll catch you later, buddy.
See ya.
But anyway, no, that was the 2600. No, that was when I was the mischievous child. When I had the Jaguar, I was a married adult, dude.
Really?
Yeah, it was the 90s. It was like 92, 93, 94, right in there.
So BC before Connor.
Well played, son. Well played.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was.
Sometimes they just roll out.
They just happen. They just happen. So
just like still the most iconic. All about them cues. About them cues. About them cues. What the? Hello.
What happened?
I just suddenly popped in and out of the stream.
Oh, okay.
So for a minute I was on screen and you weren't there, and then the next second, bada bing.
Yeah, I saw a message on my screen that there was an internet issue, so we had an internet hiccup or something. But Doesn't look like we dropped any frames, so I don't know what happened. So anyway, we're all good.
Look, I just haven't seen Top Gun, okay, Mitch? I'm sorry. I haven't seen it because Dad never watched it with me.
Do not. You cannot blame me for that. You are 29 years old. You have had ample time to see those classic movies.
But I have
Thank
had
you
no
very much.
motivation to.
Well, that's on you. That's not on me. That's on you. Take the hit and take responsibility. That's part of adulting, taking responsibility. Okay.
I've grown into my own cinematic tastes, and Top Gun just isn't one of them. Tom Cruise isn't in my cinematic flavor list.
Then don't complain that you don't get the references right because you haven't seen them. That's on you.
I know.
We have to live with the consequences of our choices. Thank you very much.
It's not.
And you've chosen not to see those movies. Then you got to live with the consequence of that, then, man.
I will pimp slap you through the screen,
bro. You are culturally deficient because you have not seen those movies. Listen, I take full responsibility for mine. You know, I'm culturally deficient because I haven't seen. I've had This Is Spinal Tap in my view list, my watch list, forever, and I never get around to watching it.
I have no idea what that is.
Well, it's a mockumentary. And they're about to come out with a sequel, so I've got to watch the first one. I've never seen Blade Runner, which is, I mean, I might as well turn in my nerd card, man. So, I take responsibility for my failures for myself. I ain't taking.
As long as you've seen Blade, I think they can forgive Blade Runner.
I haven't. Okay, two completely different movies and completely different storylines and completely different plots. No,
but Blade.
I haven't seen Blade either.
Oh wait, really?
No.
Even I've seen Blade.
Well, see, so there you go. So, but I take full responsibility for my failures as a nerd. I'm not taking responsibility for yours. Nope.
Okay, first off, Top Gun, not a nerd movie.
True. I'll give you that. Okay, movie nerd. How's that? Movie buff.
Cinematography enthusiast.
Oh, whatever. Okay. Well, enough of this junk. Let's talk about our movie.
I bet Mitch has never seen a musical in his life.
I bet he has.
He doesn't know the words to "If It Were a Rich Man."
Well, he may not have seen that musical, but I bet he's seen one. So, anyway, okay.
I missed watching that movie.
So how about we do the next installment of Roll for Credits?
Exactly.
All right.
Let's do it. Allons-y.
All right, so the movie we watched this week was a movie from 2024 from France. From France.
Called Under Paris.
Called Under Paris. Right?
Paris.
Connor watched it in the original French with subtitles. I watched the dubbed version because I have a hard time keeping up with subtitles. Now, if I watch a movie a second time, I'm fine with subtitles because I can do one time and the other. But if I only watch a movie once, I have a hard time with subtitles because I'm trying to watch the movie and see what's going on instead of just reading.
I am able to do it with ease because I grew up with anime.
Well, that's true. That's true. You've had a lot of practice with it. Now, I'm getting more practice with it because I'm getting old. And I'm like, what? I can't hear it. So we turn the subtitles on so we can read what's going on because we can't hear the show anymore. We're turning into old people. But yeah. So basically, let me pull up the little tagline here.
Get that giant ear horn to try and magnify what people are saying.
Yeah.
What is that, Sonny?
So kind of the plot of this movie is it says it's the summer of 2024. Paris is hosting the World Triathlon Championships on the Seine River for the first time. Seine, whatever. Sophia, I'm not French. I'm sorry, never been there.
I know, but it's appreciated to try and have a proper pronunciation.
Okay. I'm a chauvinist American then. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yes, you are.
So, anyway, so Sophie, a brilliant scientist who is the lead in the movie, learns from Mika, a young environmental activist, and we'll get to her later.
Oh, yeah.
That a large shark, who was a mako shark, at least originally, was swimming deep in the river. To avoid a bloodbath at the heart of the city, they have no choice but to join forces with Adil, the river police commander. So that's the setup. Go ahead if you got stuff you want to say about the movie. I'm just sitting here looking over in our Discord chat, and I'm seeing that our buddy Brandon, Mr. Binky, said he loves this movie. Mm-hmm. So he's Team Connor on this movie. He's definitely not Team Sean on this movie. So go ahead. So what you got to say about it?
So because I watched it in the original French, I got to hear the actual in-person emotions and intensity from this audio.
Yeah.
And
I'll grant you that.
Unless you do voice acting and dub work for a living, like some of these American voice actors do for anime,
mm-hmm.
It's very hard to replicate that same kind of intensity and impact when you're doing a dubbed movie.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I really enjoyed the movie a lot more because I could feel the actual intensity and the urgency in their voices.
Yeah.
Because they were speaking in their original language.
Sure, and I get that. And listen, and I could see easily how that could be the case because I watched the dubbed version, and it was terrible. That was terrible. Now, I didn't like the movie, by the way, but I didn't not like the movie because of that. I kind of expect that with, sometimes dubbed movies sometimes are pretty good, but most of the time the dubbed voices are just not as good because they're not the ones that are actually doing the acting, so their voices are never going to be completely as emotionally connected as the characters. I get that, right? Just like the movie we watched the episode before that was from China, same kind of thing, right? Because I watched the dubbed version. I used the English dub. And so I completely understand that could have played a role. My issues with the movie, which were many, was just the plot stuff and the what I saw as some just major plot hole kind of things. And to me, it was one of those things where it kind of fell in between. A movie that turned out to be better than I expected, like Vast of Night, which we've seen before, or Gora, or things like that. Movies that turned out to be really good or better than I expected, or movies that were so bad they were just fun to watch, like Santa Jaws, right?
I guess if you can call Santa Jaws a movie.
Well, just what I'm saying. It was so bad it was fun to watch just because it was bad, right? You get into that range, they're fun to watch because, dude, I grew up in high school, me and my friends, that's what we would do on Friday nights. We'd go to the local Blockbuster and try to find the worst-looking movie we could find to find the really bad movies to make fun of or have fun watching. That's what we did, right?
So, basically, Mystery Science Theater.
Absolutely. Before there's Mystery Science Theater 3000. Yes. We did it before them. We just didn't get paid for it. But anyway,
did you have puppets?
No.
You probably would have gotten paid if you had puppets.
So this movie for me, Under Paris, fell in between. Is like there were some ideas there that could have been really cool. I just didn't like how it mostly played out. I thought the plot issues to me just drove me crazy. Now, I will say, though, at the beginning when they're out in the open ocean where all the trash is, which I sincerely hope that wasn't real and that was CGI, because that was horrible to look at. That sea of garbage.
That scene was faked, but there actually is a floating patch of garbage in the ocean that just all the currents all that trash just naturally starts to culminate together until it's literally like a floating island of trash.
No, and I know that, but I don't think it's as big as what they portrayed in the movie, because that was sickening to look at. To me that was sickening for humanity. You know, I hated looking at that. But those scenes where her 4 divers were in the open water and all that stuff started happening, I'm like, nope. I hear Jaws theme in my head. Nope. No. You know, so I had a hard time with that. That had my anxiety up. But other than that, so many problems with the movie that I found, right? Some of the characters I really didn't like, which ended up, because I really didn't like them, there were things that happened that made it my favorite parts of the movie, right? With what happened to them. But like, for example, well, tell me more about what you liked before I talk about the things that I didn't like. Hello?
Oh no, nothing. So
Yeah.
So I actually did some quick research. It's known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and as of 2019, this combination of litter and garbage in the Pacific Ocean is almost twice the size of Texas.
That's sickening.
Yes. I am actually looking at some graphics right now. So let's see. So let's see, with the northern Pacific going going around California, and going over the north, equilateral, equatorial,
Equatorial.
and yep,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Kuroshio Sea, off Japan, Korea, and Asia. These currents just kind of all go around and around, gathering up patches of debris and litter, and it's not like one giant landmass. It's just essentially this layer of plastic and debris that's just kind of rolls with the waves, and it just naturally starts to collect. So
Right.
it's not its width is about twice the size of Texas, but it's basically only topical with like maybe a few inches, possibly a foot in depth into the actual ocean.
No, I mean I get that, but still, just the fact that it spread that far, that big, that
Mm-hmm.
much area, that just kind of makes me sick.
Yep.
So,
So it's described as having many patches that kind of make like a chain of just this current conglomerate of stuff.
okay, all right. Well, thanks for the ecological report on the podcast.
Sorry. So I was curious.
No, I get that, and it's good information to know, and it's just kind of sad that as humanity we've done that to our Earth, right? So tell me what you liked about the movie. Let's get back to the movie.
So what I liked about the movie is, sorry, I had a small bout of ADHD brain fart silence.
Yeah, I was watching. I was watching it.
So, what I liked about the movie is, in a way, the way it combined realism with science fiction in a way,
How?
So there have as these patches have been noticed and cataloged, and they're being researched, researchers have actually found species of fish and marine life using those patches to adapt for hunting.
Sure. It's a
So,
it's a behavioral adaptation. Sure. Okay.
Exactly.
Sure.
So
okay. I got that. I believe that. Yep.
And in the beginning of the movie, they described the mako shark species as adapting to better hunt in that area.
Sure.
Now, Now they put in now they then put in the whole science fiction stuff of basically Lilith growing to that size and being able to evolve not only to survive in fresh water, but fresh polluted city water, and being able to reproduce through parthenogenesis. For those of you who don't know parthenogenesis, that basically means the ability to reproduce asexually without a mate.
Right. And so, that was the stuff that I like it when if it's a sci-fi movie, sci-fi, whatever, right? If it's a fantasy movie with magic, fine. But if you're gonna set a movie in the real world like that, I want the science to be somewhat believable. And now, behavioral adaptation can happen quickly. Behavioral adaptation to changes in the environment can happen quickly. Absolutely. But they were describing genetic species level changes where Lilith, the main shark, who was a mako shark, literally kind of evolved into another species of shark in the span of 3 years. Nope. And so that was just kind of unbelievable for me, and I get it, and I was able to kind of let that go a little bit. I mean, look, I know it's a movie, I get that. I was able to kind of let that go, but, I was trying to think of some other things that I really didn't like in the movie that just didn't pan out for me logically. There was one really big one at the end that I'm like, come on, really?
They wanted a good ending shot.
Well, I get that. So, look, cut to the chase at the end of the movie. The experts are telling the mayor, who is just not a very nice person, you need to call off the triathlon because they're going to be swimming in this river, and there's a shark out there, and
a whole bunch of sharks.
Right. And earlier in the movie, somebody had been like magnet fishing in this river and had pulled out an old.
I want to give that a try.
And it pulled out an old like World War II
artillery shell,
right?
And they found a whole bunch of them, over 100.
Yeah, there were a whole bunch in the river from World War II. They had mentioned, right? Mm-hmm. And so then, the end of the movie, the triathlon's going on. All the swimmers are in the water. The good guys thought that they had killed off Lilith and all of her babies that she had.
And then she busts through the rocky barricade.
And she starts eating all the swimmers, right? And so then the army that's out in the water in their boats starts circling around Lilith and shooting at her. And everybody's like, stop shooting. You're going to hit the missile, the ordnance, the mortars and stuff that are in the bottom of the river. And, of course, they did, which started off a chain reaction of explosions in the river. Bridges were blowing up and all this kind of stuff, right? Now, Lilith had been swimming, and she'd been surviving in, like, the sewage catacombs underneath the city is where she'd been surviving in this river.
For 3 years.
I get that, right? And so there's all these explosions in the river. And then all of a sudden, all of Paris is submerged in 10 feet of water. The entire city. Because some bombs went off in a river. Somehow, those bombs magically generated 10 feet of extra water. Because that's the only way you're going to do that. Because it wasn't
more than that if you think about it. Because they had to make up the difference from the river and
the bank,
the river border wall and everything.
So we're talking 20 feet.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So somehow these old World War II things and the explosions in the river elevated the water level in the city of Paris 20 feet, so that when the main character and the main male character,
hundreds of millions of gallons of water.
Oh, easy, trillions. They swam when they survived. They swam and got up on the roof of like a little newsstand building, which is like just a 1-story building. So yeah, And then the movie cuts to the end where there's like an aerial shot of them and sharks swimming all around them in the water. I'm like, that just made no sense to me. Sorry. Now, had
fast forward to Waterworld Paris Edition number 2.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Kevin Costner is back and he's hunting sharks.
No. He can speak with the sharks because he's a mutant.
That's right.
He rides Lilith.
That's right.
He tames Lilith.
That's the movie poster. Waterworld 2. Kevin Costner with riding on top of Lilith the shark. But
I would watch that. Let's be honest, I would watch that.
Like realistically, when you've had these tidal waves from like huge tsunamis, and earthquakes in the ocean, like in Japan and what happened in Thailand, I think it was Thailand or the Philippines. I mean, 6 to 8 feet of water came rushing from the shore up into the city and wiped out a lot of stuff. And once that
receded back.
Once that wave happened, it receded back. And that was an entire ocean of water coming up on the beach, and it was only like 6 to 8 feet deep. Not a river blowing up and elevating the entire city's water level by 20 feet. So it's stuff like that, And then listen, if I had watched it in the original French, with the subtitles and got more of that emotional connection with the characters and hearing the emotion, it may have made a bigger difference. But that created a disconnect for me too, So then it made it much more easy to see all these glaring plot things going on,
I totally get that.
My favorite two parts of the movie were this little
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler. I'll go ahead and say that. Or the young
Spoiler alert.
The young environmentalist that I talked about in the thing a while ago. She was really cocky and entitled and was doing things because she thought it was the right thing to do that would end up causing people to get killed and stuff. And, she had this idea to try to get Lilith back to the ocean. And so she was in this deep water out there by herself. And she thought, oh, she'll be fine. And all of a sudden, Lilith comes up with her baby and she starts petting the baby shark. And the main lady, Sophie, is like, don't do that. Lilith's going to think you're threatening and it's not going to happen. And she's like, oh, no, it's fine. And she just was so... I don't want to the B word, right? And just so cocky.
Girl dog.
And then all of a sudden, they showed an aerial shot looking down on the water, and Lilith had come up from underneath her and just kind of did the whole, jumping out of the water.
Jaws motion.
Yeah, and just swallowed her whole. And I'm like, yep, that's favorite part number 1. Favorite part number 2 was when the mayor, who had the same attitude, she was cocky and she was just thought she knew better than everybody despite everything. She got 8. Yep. So those are my favorite parts of the movie when the people that I didn't like got it.
There's one thing that I don't think was ever fully explained that I'm still trying to understand. How did Lilith get into the Seine River anyway?
Well, I mean, I think it communicates with like
it's a freshwater river.
Sure.
That's mostly rainwater and road runoff.
Right. But what do they?
I'm trying to figure out how that connected to the ocean for her to get into.
But what do they say in Finding Nemo?
All toilets lead to the ocean.
All drains lead to the sea.
Fake. That's fake.
No,
that's not actually true.
No, ultimately everything. Because look, everything drains into here, to bigger bodies of water, to the Mississippi River that ends up in the Gulf. Yes, ultimately everything ends up. Why do you
the water treatment plants that then get recycled back into the supply?
But what I'm saying, Connor, why do you think oceans are so salty? Because all the minerals are washed down from the land into the ocean, and you think all the years of that happening, that's why it is the way it is.
I thought it was all. I thought it was all the fish pee and whale semen.
Wow. Okay.
What?
So what you're saying is that it's salty, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What?
I'm not gonna go there at all. So anyway, so I don't know geographically how the Seine River connects to the ocean, but it connects somehow. But if you remember in the movie, they said somehow she got through the locks, which I find kind of hard to do. Now, well, it's not hard. The way a lock works, right? I don't know if you know the way a lock works, but it's basically got doors on either end on a river, right? In this spot, you go into it, and then the two huge doors on either side close and seal, and then pumps either fill the water up to move you up to the next water level or drop you down to the next water level as you're going downstream. Now, and when we used to do the river trip, I used to see alligators in there all the time, dead alligators. They'd get in there, and they would either be swimming around in the lock, and they would swim in the lock, and they would wait for the water to go up to go, into the Lake Eufaula or down the Chattahoochee. So that's how she got in there, is through locks. So those locks are moving the river towards something. So look, when we get done, look up the Seine River on Google Maps.
Hold on. So then hold up, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
By that logic, wouldn't that mean that that there is some point of the Seine River that is higher than the rest of Paris?
Yeah, if there's locks, there's some elevation change somewhere.
So
whether Paris is at the top of that elevation or Paris is at the bottom of that elevation, I don't know.
But if those shells cause an explosive chain of events, then that could have caused the locks to break, and then that's where all that water might have come from.
It's possible, but the explosions, if you watch the movie, the explosions were just in the middle of the city. The locks were not in the middle of the city. Because we
saw.
No, because the explosions happened right there where the thing was happening. Because look, the two main characters had swum away and they got carried away a little bit, but had explosions gone all the way through the river, all the way to the locks, they would have been blown up, man. Because they were in the water, they were in the river, so they were far enough away from the explosion. So it was just a circumscribed set of explosions. It just blew up like 2 or 3 bridges.
I'm just saying it's a possibility, that's where the water could have come from.
Okay, well, if that's the case, if that was their intent, then they should have shown that
Fair.
to make it make
Very
sense. Because otherwise, what they did made no sense, no logical sense in that movie. So, I mean, look, if you like shark movies, it was a shark movie.
It was a decent shark movie in my opinion.
And people got ate in the shark movie. And that's what
they animated those scenes fantastically.
I thought they did pretty good with that. Yeah, I would agree with that. You
have to admit, for you, the dialogue killed the movie, and the plot holes killed the movie.
That was the primary thing.
But the way they executed the movie was pretty dang good.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad. But it definitely is not a movie that I'd have any urge to see again.
Same here, but I'm glad that I did see it.
And it's not a movie that I'm really even glad to say that I saw. It's definitely not a movie that I would recommend to somebody unless somebody is just all up in their butt about loving shark movies and wants to see every shark movie out there. Go for it.
I love sharks.
See, I don't.
I got to teach my kids all kinds of shark facts during Ocean Week.
Baby shark.
Ironically enough, that song never came up.
Good.
Ironically enough, that song never came up.
You should get fired if you teach those kids that song.
Oh man, but yeah, I got to teach the kids the best way to deal with a shark is to not swim away. Is to put your hand on their nose and then essentially push them to the side. Let that momentum keep them going.
Okay. Now, I have a question for you.
Yes?
Okay. If you're in the ocean, okay, sharks swimming straight at you, teeth baring, tell me how calmly you're going to sit there and wait for it to get to you to bop it on the nose and move it out of the way.
Okay, no. See, you're immediately going to the worst scenario. A hungry, desperate shark looking for anything for a meal.
Connor,
that happens so rarely you're literally more likely to be swallowed by a humpback whale than that to happen.
Connor, being
Yeah.
in the water with a shark is worst case scenario. I don't care if he's smiling at you and trying to give you a piece of candy. That's worst case scenario. Sorry.
It's not though.
This
You're literally more you're literally in more danger if you're with a whale or a dolphin than you are with a shark.
This is 7-year-old that watched Jaws from the front row in the stinking theater, okay? This is what that looks like. This is what that looks like, okay? No. He can be whistling Dixie and giving me candy, and it's still worst case scenario. Sorry. Nope.
Oh man.
That's a big nope.
Oh, what okay. Would you be scared if it was a drum playing shark from a Hanna-Barbera?
A what playing shark?
Drum playing shark from Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, if I'm near a shark, that's worst case scenario. 100%. Yep.
Okay. What about if it's a whale shark?
100%. Shark.
Nurse shark.
I don't care. I don't care.
Shark.
I don't care if she's wearing like the little French maid outfit. Nurse shark. I don't care. It's still a shark. Okay.
Okay, but literally those 3 shark species don't even eat fish. They eat krill and plankton.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
They don't even have teeth.
You know what? This movie showed that you can evolve into a different species of shark in 3 years. So maybe that nurse shark now eats people. Nope. Not taking the chance.
All I'm saying is the research speaks for itself. Okay, the data.
Sharks eat people. That's what the research
they
shows.
don't. They honestly don't. Literally, you're more likely to be swallowed by a humpback whale or be struck by lightning than to be attacked by a shark.
So Dennis from Botch has popped into the chat and he says, I think the most terrifying aquatic creature is the manatee because they cuddly and I'm not supposed to touch them. Listen,
that is true.
I've got
a fun fact about the manatee. Can I please?
And then I've got a fun story about manatees too. Go ahead.
So fun fact: the manatee has no natural predators. Then no animal goes to eat them, and so they have literally evolved to have no defense mechanism or sense of safety. So they will literally go up to divers and hug them and boop them and play with them, but it is illegal to interact with them. It is you could be fined up to thousands of dollars and jail time if you even gently push away a manatee from it coming towards you. If it's coming towards you, you just have to let it happen and then let them move on.
Speaking of snuggly manatees, let me tell you a story about snuggly manatees. Now this isn't the first.
Manatee.
Oh, guys, as bad as Baby Shark.
One for me.
So this is not my story. This was my college roommate's story. Okay. So he was from Florida. And so when he was in high school, he and his best friend, they used to go out in like a little inflatable raft on all the golf courses in town. You know, because they have all the little canals going through these golf courses. They would get in a little inflatable raft and get out in these little canals on the golf course, and they would dive for golf balls. And then they would sell those golf balls. They would recover all these golf balls that got lost in the water. And then they would sell them back to the pro shop. It's just like something they did to make some side money.
Yeah,
and he said, they would take turns. One would be in the boat, one would be diving. He says, yeah. And one time it was my turn to sit in the boat, and my friend was diving, and he says, and he was down there getting some, getting some golf balls, and he kept feeling something nudge him, and he said he didn't know what it was, and he turned around, and there's this manatee, like literally, like almost kissing him. He was so close, and of course he said, you know they're not going to hurt you. But you see something like that when you're underwater that close? He said, my friend, he says, I swear his name wasn't Jesus, but he walked on water. He said he ran out of that water and literally ran off the golf course and just kept running and never came back.
Oh, man. I mean, not even alligators go near them, you know? Not even alligators do, and they'll eat anything.
Yeah, I know. So anyway,
I can't see the Twitch chat. My phone died.
They are cute. I mean, they're basically space cows. You know,
They're sea cows.
Okay, now I mean sea cows. I don't know where does space cows come from?
I don't know.
That's next week's movie,
Oh,
right?
did it again.
I know. I see that. That's next week's movie, right? Apparently, space cows. Yeah, you know. But here's a question. You know, like
Sure.
Dennis said in the chat. He said, you know, I'd be sharing with others in jail because I went to jail for giving manatees belly rubs. He said they're just too cute. He said it's science. So here's a scientific question.
What's up?
Since everybody kind of refers to manatees as like sea cows, or you know,
Yeah.
can you tip a sea cow?
No, actually, no, you can't. They are masters of controlling their buoyancy.
Yep.
And
Yep.
do you want to know how they control it?
Farting.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Farting.
Man, I should have been hitting the chicken button for quite the last 10 minutes.
Oh, fun fact.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, hit the wrong button. We're just gonna have all the sound effects tonight.
Many explorers during the old times, including Christopher Columbus, recorded seeing beautiful figures in the water along the coastlines of the Americas and Europe, describing amazing full-figured bodies. They had been at sea for so long, they were literally hallucinating and seeing manatees as mermaids.
Oh, I know. I mean, look, if you're out at sea
With nothing but dudes
for
upwards of a
6
year.
Yeah, for 6 months and something in the sun, yeah, you're gonna see stuff. That's one hot chick in the water. No, it's a shark. No, it's a shark.
That's one hot chick in the water. That's a literal little sea cow. But it wants to hug me. Don't hug back. I know what you're thinking. Don't hug back. Oh man, it's just animals. Just the ocean itself is so incredible. Here's another fun fact about the ocean. There's at one point in the ocean, if you're floating on top. Okay, I'm gonna wait till the chickens are done.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think you would actually like this this tidbit. There is a place in the ocean where if you're floating on top, and so you should be floating on top, you have the sky and everything.
Mm-hmm.
If the when the International Space Station passes over you,
Yeah.
at that point you would be closer to the International Space Station than you would be to the bottom of the ocean.
Yep.
Think about that.
I know, it's crazy, right?
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should be spending less time exploring the vastness of space and finish exploring the vastness of our own oceans. I mean, come on. What are they saying? I can't see the Twitch chat.
Dennis just asked, is there someone constantly watching from the bushes to check for people trying to touch manatees? But you know, here's another one. This is another neat one. And I'll do the chicken for me. I saw a graphic the other day, and they said, you know, we always see pictures of the globe of Earth.
Yeah.
You know, with all the, you can see all the continents, and you can see part of the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean and this kind of stuff. And they said nobody ever shows a picture of the Earth from this point of view, and it was a picture of the point of view that kind of centered on the Pacific Ocean. All you could see is ocean. It's so big that if you look at that part of the Earth, all you see is water. It's kind of wild.
How insane is that?
That's kind of crazy. So, anyway, I think we're starting to we're talking about manatees and Jesus and stuff. I think it's getting about time to go. So anyway, we got to roll. We got to roll for our next movie though.
If anything, it does show that God has a fun sense of humor.
Oh
he literally made a creature that has no sense of safety that no other creature wants to even harm it because it is so innocent.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
And then he made something like the platypus that has a duck bill, webbed feet, a furred body, and a beaver tail, and literal venomous spines on its pads.
So here, so I envision, at some point, during creation, God leaned over and looked at Jesus and said, "Hey, check this one out. Let's see him try to figure this one out." I'm going to take a little bit of that one, and a little bit of that one, and a little bit of that one. Yeah, we'll do that. So anyway.
Oh,
okay.
Don't even get me started on the kiwi.
Or yeah, I know. Or
or
the bombardier beetle, which is awesome.
Have you heard what a kiwi actually sounds like?
No.
It literally sounds like a demon screaming. There's a popular meme of a video of an actual kiwi doing its call, and quite literally it sounds like someone screaming as they're rubbing their nails over a chalkboard.
All right. Well,
it is terrifying.
Let's roll for our next movie and get out of here, okay?
Why? I love talking with you.
Well, I mean, we can talk, but folks don't have 2 hours to listen to a podcast, all right? We got to cut it short for them. All right, so I'm going to roll for our next movie. All right,
let's do this.
So let's see what we got here. All right, so I rolled a 9. That would be Hulu. So we're going to watch a movie off of Hulu. And then I rolled a 1, which would be action. So we're going to watch an action movie on Hulu. And then I rolled a 30. So we're going to let me go over to Hulu. I've got Hulu pulled up. Let me go to Hulu and pull up the 30th. The 30th action movie, or the 30th movie in the action category, and that's what we're watching next time, all right? So hold on 1 second.
Let's see what we got.
Man, you messed up my groove with that when you sing. I love that elevator music, and you messed it up. Anyway, okay, so...
You threw off my groove!
I'm
sorry, but you threw off the Emperor's groove. Sorry!
Clearly, we need to go.
Groove. Well, come on, Dad. You know we have... Anytime anyone in our family says an Emperor's New Groove quote, we have to do other Emperor New Groove quotes.
Yeah, weird.
It's just so weird.
Okay, so,
Same thing with Atlantis.
Done. Okay, so... The 30th movie.
You'll have to stab the dirt.
Okay. You sat in the dirt, didn't you? Oh God, we got to stop. So the 30th movie in the action category on Hulu is The Arctic Convoy. The tagline for it, or the little plot summary, is it's summer of 1941. Hitler seems unstoppable, invading the Soviet Union. Convoys of cargo ships with war materials began the perilous journey to Murmansk. Ordinary sailors facing German superiority in the icy Arctic Sea with lives at stake. So it's a World War II movie, and it sounds like it's just normal sailors, not military boats, but just normal cargo ships trying to get military materials to Russia in the middle of attacks from the Nazi Navy and Air Force.
Wow.
So
that sounds intense.
Sounds like it could be a pretty good movie, pretty intense. So the average
kind of like a possible Russian version of Inglorious,
Yeah, well, that's a little bit different story, but yeah, I mean I
love that
so
movie.
We'll see. I mean that could be interesting. It could be an interesting one to watch. But
that's
sure.
Brad Pitt, isn't it?
Oh yeah, man! Inglourious Basterds is one of my favorite movies.
You said a naughty word. You said a bad word.
Yeah, but it's spelled Basterds, so it's really not even the right word. It's not even a word. There you go. So technically, I got around it because I didn't say the bad word. Because I said what the title of the movie is, and it's not even spelled right. But
So
one of the
I can say curse words if I just mess up the spelling of them.
I didn't.
Because I can do a lot with ph.
Hey, listen. I didn't mess up the spelling. That's the way it's spelled. It's not the word you think it is. It just sounds like it. I'm just telling you what it is. Listen. So you've never seen Inglourious Basterds before?
No, I have. It's an amazing movie.
Oh my gosh.
I just couldn't remember if it was Brad Pitt or someone else who starred in it.
But man, Christoph Waltz plays one of the sneakiest evil villains in any movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He is super smooth, sneaky evil. You know? Loved his character.
It takes
that's
a very
bingo.
Oh yeah, das ist bingo.
Anyway, let's move on. So it's time to go, man. So we've got our movie for next time. We're going to watch this movie, and it looks like it's probably going to be in a different language. We're probably going to have subtitles again. So we'll see how it goes. It sounds like it's going to be more interesting than the one we watched this week, but we'll see. So thanks for the folks that popped into the chat to hang out with us. That was fun talking to you guys. It's we're trying to get back in the saddle here.
I just realized something.
Yes, what?
You may actually know a bit more about this movie because of what you studied in college, right? You minored in like Soviet history.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't really study Soviet military history, so I won't know anything about specific battles and that kind of stuff. I won't really know that.
No, but still, you know, it's you would kind of know you kind of know of the era.
I'll definitely probably. There you go. English much? I will most likely know some of the names, you know, historical figures in there from Russia. But anyway, so
I just don't think that's kind of cool, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. So sorry, I had to drink something. So we're done, man. We got to go. We got to get out of here. Thanks for the folks that popped into the chat. Hey, Dennis, It was good seeing you too, man.
See you, dude.
Hated, we're going to miss you at Dragon Con, but we're already planning to be there at Dragon Con next year, so we'll see you there. But yeah, we're here on Friday nights at 8 o'clock.
Gonna go balls to the walls wild.
There you go. We're here on Friday nights at 8 o'clock on Twitch.
Yes.
You can catch this later on YouTube on our YouTube channel. You can also get our podcast too on Podbean. But we're pretty much Gene Pool Variety Hour everywhere. We're except for Blue Sky, we're Gene Pool Podcast on Blue Sky, but we're Gene Pool Variety Hour everywhere else. Thanks for popping in. Come back and see us next Friday, and we'll watch a new movie and talk new nerdy stuff. And so always remember, guys,
stay nerdy, my friends.
Still here? It's over. Go home.